A couple of weeks ago, I posted a video detailing what I believe sets great leaders apart from most of their peers. As I stated previously, a wide array of skills and characteristics are necessary to operate at the most effective leadership levels. When coaching and consulting with C-suite executives and the highest performing entrepreneurs, I see that most of the desirable leadership characteristics are already present and developed at varying levels. Now clearly, some leaders are better at certain skills and possess more desirable characteristics than others. But the one thing that is ever present among those operating at the highest levels is their ability to avoid cognitive biases that undermine their critical thinking process. Obviously, these leaders don't avoid every possible cognitive bias that might find its way into their critical thinking process. There are more than 100 well-defined cognitive biases that could be causing anyone's critical thinking process to be suboptimal. That said, like most of the things in life, there are a few major cognitive biases that must be avoided or they'll completely derail the effectiveness of your critical thinking methodology. The three most common cognitive biases that undermine a sound decision-making process are confirmation bias, sampling bias, and brilliance bias. If you're suffering from any one of these three, the bad news is you're unlikely to achieve full success. The good news is that each of the three is relatively easy to identify and eliminate from your current or future critical thinking process. Today, let's just focus on confirmation bias for a moment. Like all cognitive biases, confirmation bias affects your ability to critically engage with crucial information. You can think of confirmation bias as that unhelpful little internal yes man that just echoes back your beliefs in a way that undermines your ability to objectively look at all the valuable decision-making information that might be available to you. We can create a confirmation bias situation in any of three ways. We can be unduly biased in the type of information that we seek out to begin with. We can interpret the information that's available to us in a very biased way, or we can suffer from a biased recall of the information in general. The cognitively biased search for information is by far the most prevalent of the confirmation biases that I see, both in corporate America today and in society in general. Rather than reviewing all of the relevant information available, some leaders just set out in search of information or answers that will validate their own preconceived notions of the best path forward. The social media algorithms are designed specifically to exacerbate this common cognitive bias. Many corporate cultures are also structured in a way that continuously presents information that reinforces past and current strategy decisions. How many of you routinely get your news from a single source that you find comfortable? Do you think there might be some confirmation bias introduced into your critical thinking process in this way? Do you have a go-to advisor in the organization that you rely on because they just get it? Do you find yourself rephrasing the way that you ask questions or hold others accountable in order to get a desired outcome? Now, if you answered yes to any of these questions, you should start thinking about broadening your scope of information gathering in order to improve your odds of making more objective and effective decisions. One of my favorite quotes is from Michael Shermer. He says, "Smart people believe weird things because they're skilled in defending beliefs they arrived at for non-smart reasons." Just being more open-minded to the way you gather information before you make decisions can help you avoid arriving where you don't want to be for non-smart reasons. Take a minute, sit back and reflect, and find sources of information that routinely get you out of your comfort zone. That little bit of slight discomfort will pay handsome dividends for you in the future.